And breathe. What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Stretford Post. Welcome to Chatterbox, not Chatterbox. Welcome to I'm breaking up now as well. Goodness me, I've put the clock forward. Welcome to Breaking Dawn, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on this therapy session. You know, I am your yoga teacher, Sal. So, guys, listen, it's going to be a difficult few weeks, isn't it? We have one more basket, and we don't have two baskets now. We have one more basket, and we have to hope that we can fit 1,000 eggs into that one basket and hope we don't break any eggs, because that is how precarious Manchester United situation is at the moment. We're in a bit of a pickle, guys. Man United are out of the FA Cup, having lost on penalties to Fulham. 120 minutes of football. And you know what? Again, a very weak, lethargic, lackluster, uncreative, unimaginative, dead performance. And what do we go from here? Where do we go from here? And listen, I've said it, and I hate repeating myself because I'm not one of them I told you so guys. I'm not one of them guys. I'm not one of them people who go, oh, you know what? Yeah, I told you so. See what I'm saying? I told you, because life is not full of absolutes. Life is different. But what I would bring in is that I did say Erik ten Hag being sacked was not going to fix the fundamental problems at this football club. This football club has deeper rooted problems. This football club has problems that go from the top and resonate all the way to the bottom, to the pitch. So if your ownership is a bunch of greedy mercenaries, it is going to spread like a infectious virus all the way down to the pitch. That is what happens in football, guys. And this is what's happening to Manchester United. Manchester United's culture of winning is slowly dying out. We're starting to become a little bit like Everton and Ipswich Town and Southampton and teams like that. When you look at Fulham's bench yesterday and you saw the likes of Willian coming on and Raul Jimenez coming on, and we've got kids on the bench, there is the damning reality of where Manchester United are, that Fulham have a better bench than Manchester United. Why do Fulham have a better bench than Manchester United? I don't understand how this can possibly be the scenario. I don't understand how this can be true. We have 16, 17-year-olds coming off the bench. We've got Aiden Heaven, Chido Obi Martin, and that is all fair play to them. Goodness me, I wish them the best of luck. I really do. You know, it's not easy to come into this cesspit of which is Manchester United at the end of the day. And you know what? I give them full up props for their performances yesterday. But again, you know, we look at the team and you know what? It's like you can think about, you know, the goal scoring side of things, and you know what? Defensively, we're okay, but we still make the odd little slip up. But the goal scoring side of things, we just don't seem to be able to score goals. We can't score goals. And this is only happening this season. This has been happening way beyond this season, guys. It has. You know what I mean? It's been happening a long way before this season. Erik ten Hag, we are minus goal difference. You know, and here we are again. Cultural problem at football club. Cultural problem at this club. And, you know, I can only, you know, say how I'm feeling right now. But, you know, Fulham are a decent side. Let's not disrespect Fulham. They are not that bad. They've beaten some big sides this season, guys. And, you know, they have. And we have to show them respect and congratulate Fulham on getting through to the next round of the FA Cup, where they will play Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Wow. You know, we could have played Crystal Palace at Old Trafford in the FA Cup quarterfinal, guys. In the FA Cup quarterfinal, we could have played Crystal Palace. Man City would have played Bournemouth. Who knows? Bournemouth might have beaten Man City. We would end up playing having a decent run to the final. Look, at the moment, I'm not saying that Man United will beat anyone, because at the moment, it looks like we'll lose to Leyton Orient at this time, guys. But, you know, I'm just saying that the path to the final would have been a lot more calmer, of course, guys. Absolutely. Let me get through some of your comments real quick. Rasta, when I saw Lindelof come into penalty, I was like, why him? I don't understand the penalty for Rasta, the penalty for Lindelof. I know Lindelof has scored a penalty in the past. He scored in the League Cup semi? Was it the FA Cup semi-final against Brighton? He scored a penalty. And to be honest with you, he took a very good penalty. So, look, penalties are a lottery. Penalties are a lottery. You cannot, criticize a player too much for missing penalties. But what I would say is that when you go up to take penalties, you get the most technically gifted attacking players to take the penalties. For example, Bruno took his penalty brilliantly. You got, Dalot took his penalty brilliantly. But technique, and why didn't Garnacho take a penalty? And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know what, mate, did he back out? This is where we are at the moment. This is where we are as a football club. This is the problems that is going on at this football club. It seems like we can't catch a break. I still possessing that Limbo take a penalty. You were right, Sal. Nothing changed. Still the same. Look, Rasta, in hindsight, and as I said, we're all geniuses in hindsight. Lindelof stepped up to take a penalty against Brighton and smashed it in the corner of the goal and won the semi-final against Brighton in the FA Cup, right? So that is just the nature of the beast. But you know what? You have to give yourself the best opportunity to score penalties. I had a feeling we lose the penalty shootout. I really did. I had a feeling. I think Bayende is a better goalkeeper than Onana. I think Bayende would have saved a couple. Unfortunately, Onana didn't get near any of them. He was going to be my man of the match, Onana. I thought he'd had a very good game. But the penalties, he was rubbish. Big up, Pearl. What's going on, my friend? Ahmed's out and only left with Bruno now to provide individual brilliance, to provide some moments. Is it because most of them players know they shouldn't? It should be out of the squad or for Amorim? Look, at the end of the day, Pearl, I cannot put my finger in it. If I knew, Pearl, what's going on Man United. You're looking at Man United, right, Pearl? And you're looking at players like Ugarte, right? One of the best players in Europe in regards to tackling and defensive midfield duties and stuff. De Ligt, who's played for the likes of Juventus and Bayern Munich. Mazraoui, who's played for Bayern Munich. You've got players in our team right now, who played for great clubs, and they're used to the pressure. So I don't understand how, these players can play with such lethargic, lazy, slow mannerisms. I knew, guys, that Eriksen shouldn't be playing for Man United. And I told you guys that a long time ago, that Eriksen shouldn't be playing for Man United. And I think he's too slow. He's finished. And we can't play Eriksen. Looking at things from another point of view, my biggest concern was the attack. I felt defensively we did okay. I felt the attack, we're not making the right choices. We're not getting our head up. And when you don't get your head up, taking the ball on yourself, trying to score from ridiculous angles, you're not going to score goals. You're not going to win games. At the end of the day, the Premier League teams are tough to beat anyway, regardless. We should beat Fulham. We've beaten Fulham on many times over the past, and we beat them this season twice, home and away. So for us to go in 120 minutes like this, beggars belief, to be honest with you, absolutely. GK, we need 2-3 Brunos more. Yeah, we need a lot. GK, we need a lot. This is the problem that we're having, at the moment, that Ruben Amorim has a style of football, but to play that style of football, we're going to have to change entire 11, and we don't have money to change the entire 11, So how do we go forward from here? We can either go back and get a manager like Gareth Southgate or Sam Allardyce and just play simple 4-4-2, who fit to the big man up front and hope for the best. Or we could stay patient, we could stay wise, and we can stay a little bit more, calm in our reactions and say, okay, this season is done. We know, right? Part of me feels like we'll probably go to Real Sociedad and win. That is how Man United have been doing things this season because, look, we went toe-to-toe with Liverpool. We beat Man City away. We beat Arsenal away with 10 men. We're that type of team. But the teams against Brighton, Bournemouth, Wolves, Crystal Palace, and Fulham, we seem to struggle against. Why is that? So, we would have played Crystal Palace in the next round. There's obviously no guarantees we would have won that game. We lost to Crystal Palace already this season, of course. But, what I would say is that we have to remain calm. I know a lot of people are saying Amorim, not looking at the bigger picture and the fundamental issues at this football club, which stem from top to bottom, guys. I could tell you that these players are not good enough. You could talk about Bruno to the cows come home. Bruno's not good enough. People can talk about Bruno's this big messiah. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. He's a decent player, but he's not a player that's going to get you to the championship. Trust me. You could have 11 Brunos. We'll end up the same position. Why? He's the captain of the ship, and he's not steering the ship to safety. And I said that at the end of the day. Bruno's a good player. A better player. He's one of our better players, but he's certainly not one of the players who's going to get you to the promised land where he's challenging for the league and stuff like that. But he's not the only problem. This is why I said the other day what Roy Keane said was partly true. Some things what Roy Keane said was partly true. Another thing, Bruno should never be playing in a number 8. He's not a number 8. He should be playing in a number 10. If we ain't scoring goals, so he needs to play in a number 10. I know it's not Ruben Amorim's fault, because at the end of the day, what do you want Ruben Amorim to do? He has 16, 17-year-olds on the bench. What do we do? What can he do at the end of the day? It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we need to target those upstairs, the Ineos and the Glazers, because they're the reason. I mean, who would have thought that it would get worse than the Glazers? Who would have thought that it would get worse than the Glazers? It's worse than the Glazers now, isn't it? With Ineos. All those top reds telling us how Ineos are this. We don't want a sugar daddy. We don't want Qatar. We need Qatar more than we needed Qatar in the past. Now we need Qatar because we need a new 11. Guys, this whole thing needs to be ripped up to shreds, and we need to start again. Good morning, David. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see even though Man United fan around the world, Amorim, and nobody to bring on our subs here. Absolutely. David, how on earth did Fulham have a better bench than Manchester United? How can they bring on Raul Jimenez and Willian, and we bring on Cheeto and Aiden Heaven? No disrespect to Aiden Heaven and Cheeto. I thought they'd done really well when they came on, but that just goes to show you where we are. Where we are. Jay, I feel for Amorim, but the squad is cheeks, and not to talk about the board thinking it's best time to bring Amorim mid-season is bollocks, if you ask me. Jay, at the end of the day, didn't Amorim say he wanted to come at the start of next season? This is precisely why, isn't it? Look, if they're going to get a manager, right? If they're going to get a manager that, let's be honest, suits a Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich, that type of team, right? If they're going to get a manager of that caliber and then go into the winter transfer window, knowing he plays a unique style of football that this team have never played in their careers, right? And not back him. I mean, when Ruben Amorim walked in the door, I thought, you know what? Ineos are going to back this guy because you know what? This is their guy. You could see it on the stream a few weeks ago, months ago. I said, they're going to back him. They have to back him. This is their guy. This is their guy. They have to back him. You know what I mean? But for not to back him in the January transfer window and leave him to the Sharks, flip it. I cannot fathom how they've done this, and for Man United and now at the FA Cup, we only rely. Look, if we don't qualify for Europe this season, believe it or not, this is going to get pretty bad, right? I wouldn't have given Maguire a new contract. No, I wouldn't give Maguire a new contract. I wouldn't give Luke Shaw, all these players a new contract who've been there under serial failure regimes. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have, to be honest. Yeah, Fulham deserved it. Can't say much. Can't say much. Well, I think it was about 50-50. The only players who can go out their heads high, Bruno, Xerxes, De Ligt. I thought Onana did okay. Let's be fair. I thought he did okay in the game. Let's be fair. Jay, I know some here, regardless where we are finished this season, Amorim deserves another season. What Amorim deserves is another season. I absolutely agree with that, Kenny. He does. We're not asking for miracles. We're not asking for Man United to win the league, straight away. We're asking for improvement. We're asking for hope. We're asking for something to spark our belief. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Man United need. The fans need, our great fans around the world need that. I think our great fans at Manchester United need this, a little bit of hope And at the moment, when I was watching the game yesterday, I'm watching the game and I'm looking at the team. I'm thinking, where can we score? We don't score. I see Rasmus running around like a headless chicken. You know, I see Garnacho running around like a headless chicken. I see Bruno all over the pitch, you know, at the end of the day. And I don't want to compliment many of all those players. Listen, I was raised on Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Peter Schmeichel, Eric Cantona, Mark Hughes, Cristiano Ronaldo. I was raised on those players. None of these players go near any of those players. And I'll say it right now, Roy Keane is right. I don't care about, oh, Bruno's been our best player. He's been our best player. I don't care. He's the captain of the team who's 15th in the Premier League. No, it's not always fault. It's not always fault, but that is the reality of where we are at the moment. You know what I mean? He is the captain of the ship. He's the captain of Manchester United, the same Manchester United who haven't challenged for a league title in years. And he's the man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So it's not just him. I know. But is he the guy to take us to the promised land? Surely not. Because at the end of the day, I didn't see no captaincy from him yesterday, right? And I didn't see any play from anyone else either. I just don't think any of this team is good. If I had the choice, I would rip it up and keep the young players, but rip it up and get rid of them and start again. That's what I would do, honestly. Do you know what I mean? David, why did Ineos bring him in at this stage and now everybody blaming Amorim? You can't send an army with the war, the guns and the bullets. Amorim is a war zone. He needs to be bullets. You're sending Ruben Amorim into a nuclear war, David, with bows and arrows. That is what you're doing at the moment. This is what Ineos have done, right? They sent Ruben Amorim into a nuclear war with bows and arrows and expecting him to get results. Sure, you might hit one or two people, but ultimately, you're going to get done. Isn't it? At the end of the day, this is what Ineos have done. They've left a great manager like Ruben Amorim with a unique style of football and sent him out to the Sharks. Lambs to the slaughter. Absolutely disgusting. And you know what? We warned people about this. And I told you at the beginning of the show, I'm not one of those people who like, I told you so, because at the end of the day, this is all about Manchester United. This is all about our football club. This is nothing to do with my personal ego or anything like that or my opinion. This is about the football club. I am ruthless when I look at these players. Ruthless. These things wouldn't happen under Roy Keane. They wouldn't. Under Paul Scholes and things like that. And people want to, like, you know, because they haven't witnessed Roy Keane. They haven't witnessed Paul Scholes. They haven't witnessed Ryan Giggs. They haven't witnessed David Beckham. They haven't witnessed these players, so they don't know the levels. They look at Bruno. Oh, look, he got a nice goal. Great. What else? Penalty. At the end of the day, look, we played crap, and the captain is the man who's supposed to lift our troops up. We played crap. And even Xerxes gave away the ball many times. You know what I mean? Our standards are lowering by the second. For goodness sake, our standards are lowering and lowering and lowering and lowering. And we're getting lower and lower and lower. How low can you go? I feel like that. How low can you go? That is what we're doing at the moment. And, you know, mediocre performances are becoming the norm. They're becoming acceptable. You know, and moments that it should be a normal thing for Man United are becoming, like, you know what, celebrated like we've just won the Champions League. You know, and this is the problem. Jay, if we don't deserve to be in Europe, we don't deserve to be in Europe. That this is not Amorim's fault or the managers before that. This is where we are, and we all know who's to blame for that. Absolutely, Jay. And I like your comment, mate. Absolutely spot on, bro. Absolutely spot on. We do not deserve to be in European competition. Absolutely not. We scammed it this season to get into the Europa League. Eric Ten Hag performed a miracle to defeat Manchester City in the FA Cup final, and we got into the Europa League. And you know what? That is what happened. Man United are the team that scam it. If we're going to get in Europe, we're going to have to scam it. I believe Man United, you know, will beat Real Sociedad. Funny, isn't it? After I've said all that, but I do believe they will beat Real Sociedad. The reason I think they'll beat Real Sociedad because I believe that this team play better when their back's against the wall. I think this team struggle when they are on the front foot, when they're expected to win. Like I said, against Crystal Palace, Wolves, Brighton, you know, and Everton, teams like that. When they're Ipswich, and I think that when their back's against the wall, they struggle. When they're expected to win, they struggle. And I think they will end up winning against Real Sociedad. I really do. And you know what? I'm going to cut. This is the thing, and this is the problem of Man United. I can't quite put my foot on it. We go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. We beat Man City away. We beat Arsenal away. I know we got injuries. We got a whole number of injuries, guys. This has to be addressed. Right, we got Mainu out, obviously. We got Kalia out, obviously. We got Ahmad out, obviously. We got Licha out, obviously. Probably a few of our best players right there, just there. They're probably a few of our best players, and, they're all out. Do you know what I mean? Madness. Goals for George. Xerxes was explained. Xerxes had fatigue, and I would have trusted him with penalties where you need to be mentally alert. Penalties are gamble anyway. Penalties, you can't blame them, to be honest with you. We miss Martinez for attacking build-up. We do, Kenny. We really do. Absolutely. That's the main issue. The main issue is the Glazers and the Ineos. Simple as that. I'm very nervous about the game on Thursday, so I'm more like 50-50. Don't worry about it, Rusta. Rusta, what will be, bruv. What will be, bruv. I tell you right now, what will be. We'll still be here supporting the football club. That is just the way it is. We're in this together, Rusta. Let me tell you that. We're in this together. We're a family. We're in this together. We're going through this adversity that we're going to get through it. Let me tell you, we're going to get through it eventually by hook or by crook. We will get through this adversity. We will. It hurt yesterday, because I felt that Man United had an easy path to the final. I felt I foresee Man United winning the FA Cup again this season, but obviously it's not to be. It's the way it is. The biggest disappointment for me is that we went 120 minutes against Arsenal and should have beaten them even with 10 men and beat Arsenal at the Emirates, and we can't beat Fulham at Old Trafford. And this is the fundamental issue at Man United. This is the overriding concern that I'm having, and that these players have a problem when they're expected to win games. They have this issue, and I can't put my finger on it, to be honest. I don't think it's a thing of another season. Any manager manages club needs 2 or 3 years until a time. Jay, you know what I'm saying? I said it a few weeks ago about the plant growing, and you can scream and shout at a plant all you want. It's not going to grow back quicker, right? The problem that Man United are having is we're screaming at this pot, right? This pot of soil, and this plant is not growing. And we're screaming at this soil, screaming and screaming and screaming. And then eventually, when the plant starts to move up and it starts to grow a little bit, we cut it and start again. Oh, it's too slow. We've got to get rid of the manager. We get rid of the manager, guys. Who are we going to get? We still got those bunch of players right there. We still got those bunch of players. Ruben Amorim has not been backed. He's not been backed. He does not have any of his players playing yesterday. None. Do you know what I mean? The only player he has is Dorgu, who's suspended, but Dorgu has been arguably our best player over the last few games. Isn't that a coincidence? Maybe, if Ruben Amorim had his team, he would be able to perform. It would be naive, it would be stupid, it would be ignorant, it would be dumb, it would be everything if we got rid of Ruben Amorim. It would be. It would be stupid. How comes a guy like me, been supporting the team since like 1989, right? Around that time, right? I've seen when we were bad. Not as bad as this, but I've seen when we were bad. But I've also seen every single bit of success, most of it, Sir Alex Ferguson achieved, including his first trophies, right? How comes it's someone like me who can remain composed, right? Who knows what the standards are, who knows what the levels are, and I can remain composed. And I didn't say Eric Ten Hag out. I didn't say ball fraud and peanut head. I didn't attack Ruben Amorim. And I'm not attacking Ruben Amorim. I'm not saying Ruben Amorim, change your tactics. I didn't do that because I understand the fundamental problems at the football club. These players don't have the IQ. They're not good enough. You can see on the pitch that they're not good enough. Even the Xerxes of this world, they're not good enough. They're too slow. They give away the ball. Every one of those players, they're only a handful of players I would keep at this football club. And those handful of players are the likes of De Ligt, Ugarte, Ahmad. That is, Dorgu. That is. You're basically looking at it now and you're saying, those are the 3 players. Euro, 5, we'll keep. You're struggling to keep players here. The rest of them, you can look at and say, no, we don't. Nah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We need better, Absolutely. Jay, big up, of course. Any fan or fan base who were Amorim are just running on their own agenda. Jay, love it. Absolutely spot on. And there will be, Jay. And you know who those people are going to be. You know who those people are going to be. You know what? They're going to start the show like this. They're going to start the show like this, right? They're going to start the show. They're going to go, you know what? I'm not Ruben Amorim but I think we have to have a serious conversation. Peep those guys, right? When they start their show. I'm not Ruben Amorim but we need to have a serious conversation. Trust me. Peep those guys who do that. Peep those guys. I'm not, but we need to have a serious conversation. Planting the seeds. For goodness me. Absolutely. Madness. Fans saying Amorim, those who say that tell me who is good to better than Amorim at this stage. So you think I should just support him, help him, and criticize it? David, at the end of the day, and then people throw this stinger about tactics, and people are talking about tactics. This is not Manchester United tactics. We played 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-5-1. What do you want us to play? We played every single formation known to man in you know what I mean, this last 2 years. Eric Ten Hag abandoned his philosophy because these players couldn't play his philosophy. He abandoned it and it failed. Ruben Amorim will abandon it. He's played that formation his whole career, right? Ruben Amorim's played that formation his whole career. He's been successful his whole career with that formation, right? Then you want him to change it to a formation that he's never played. And then expect him to win and expect him to be successful with that formation. There's no compromise. There's no in success. No compromise in success. Morning, Baz. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We should have sold to Qatar, but no, they chose Jim Ratcliffe. Definitely a race thing. We know that, Rasta. We know the underlying problems, the underlying sinister nature of, the selection process, of course, what happened with Ineos. And this is where our energy should be targeted. Now, we could talk about tactics all the way to the cows come home, right? But these players can play that tactics. They've proven they can play that tactics. It's just that they pick moments when to play it. Now, that is a problem within the mentality of the players, right? And this is not going to change. This is not going to change if we bow down to those players, if we bow down to the player power. Ineos should never have come in this football club. Ineos are a big mistake. They've actually done something amazing. They've actually done something incredible. They've actually made things worse. They've actually made things worse than they were, which is crazy. Morning, Baz. Big up, of course. Yeah, rain right now. Big up. If Eriksen and Casemiro finish, why are we not buying midfielders yet? Why are we ignoring midfielders on to like Malhouse for Coney? Because they're not ready. They're not ready. You can't throw youngsters into the deep end. You can't. At the end of the day, we would have lost. You can't. You can throw. Look at this, right? You're talking about a guy who's witnessed it all, right? These players can play that system. They've proven they can play that system. The young kids are not ready yet. They're not. I watched the youth team. Some of them are not ready yet. And you can see Chido's not ready yet. He's good, but he's not ready yet. He's better than Rasmus, but, I don't think he's ready yet. Anthony, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We should have upgraded Bruno last summer. I'm not happy with the management as we are already struggling because of poor transfer. Wasted money on Anthony, Mount, Casemiro. Exactly. Casemiro, Anthony, Mount, Onana were wasted the money. And I would say that, that is partly because we didn't have a team of directors and CEOs, director of football and stuff like that in regards to Amorim picking the transfers. He was the man. He was the only one who picked the transfers, of course. Kenny, time under Ineos or Glazer, I don't think they give a toss. They care only about performance and result. They only care about money, mate. They only care about money. That is what it is. It's a vanity project. This is what it is. All they're talking about is the stadium. That's all they care about. It's the stadium. This is where it is. All they care about is the stadium, the vanity project, the stadium, the reconstruction, the this. That is a vanity project. They don't care what happens on the pitch. They care about the money, but they don't care about what really happens on the pitch. you know, and they're just caring about the reconstruction, the area, the redevelopment, and then that is what they're doing at the moment, because that is going to give them ego. You know, they're going to have a stadium, the Ineos Stadium, the Sir Jim Ratcliffe Stadium. That's what they want. The Wembley of the North, as they said. I don't want a Wembley of the North if we're not playing good football. We can't even fill up Old Trafford at the moment. There's empty seats at Old Trafford. I've never seen that. There was empty seats against Ipswich Town. I've never seen empty seats at Old Trafford. Unless it was a friendly or a testimonial. Even testimonials were more full up than last night. Mad. David, Amorim deserves players. Without players, what good is Amorim? Absolutely. You're leading him into a sword fight with a breadstick. That's exactly what it is. We'll wait until next season, but only if Amorim gets the player type of players. This team is no good. They can't play his team. They have no IQ, mate. They have no IQ. How is it that Fulham's bench is better than our bench? Please explain to me, how is it that Fulham's bench is better than Manchester United's bench? It's mad. Isa, how are you? We need a massive protest, boycott matches. So sad for Amorim to have to hear this situation. There will be a protest next week, guys. 1958 and must have organised a protest before the Arsenal game, guys. So whoever is in Manchester next week, you know what? Join the protest. Go for it. We are starting now. The noise will get bigger. The noise will get stronger. Of course, we are playing Arsenal. You know, the game might even be cancelled. Who knows? Baz. Ashwood knew this looked that happened to him, gone from scum to scam. Absolutely. I mean, Baz, I'm hearing stories about Ashwood didn't agree with some of Ineos's philosophies. I'm hearing things like that. So obviously there is some, you know, things that need to be addressed in regards to Ineos. You know, they got Ashwood in and Ashwood didn't agree with the way they're doing things. So, you know, there you go at the end of the day. Good morning, Grayo. What's going on, you legend? Completely shell-shocked this morning. I'm still backing Amorim. We have to, Grayo. You know, it's insanity for us not to back Amorim. You know, because at the end of the day, we were sitting here, weren't we? You know, just a few months ago about Erik ten Hag. You know, we need to look at the players and we need to look at the ownership and we need to target that. We can't target individuals. We need to target a collective. And once we do that, we have more chance of us being successful in the future. Because there is a big problem at Man United and it stems more than one player, one manager, it is the ownership, to be honest, in my opinion. Bless up. I refuse to give Højlund or Garnacho any more chances. Both are absolutely dreadful. I reckon Chido would have 2 goals, but that selfish Garnacho will let happen. Johnny, what I would say is that I told you I'm not going to target individuals in this game because you know what? We've had great players at this football club and they've cheated Ethel, Cavani, you know, players like that. You know, we've had great players. And, you know, I feel that is a cultural problem at Man United. So I'm not going to target players. I'm not going to, you know, attack players because I don't think that helps anything. I think individuals, you know, once we start attacking individuals, it just demotes the IQ level of a serious football debate because they are not the problem, right? They're not the problem. We can get in another player. Even Ahmad was struggling sometimes. You know what I mean? We can get other players. There's fundamental problems culturally at Man United, which stem from the top and Ineos, of course. Absolutely. Also, it's Greg chooses the selfish game. Yeah, it comes to this is where we get Johnny to a low IQ opinion on football, Johnny. And due respect, right? You know, this is where I get to the thing where we target young kids who make mistakes. He's gonna learn at the end of the day, right? He's 20, right? And we have to look at this. He shouldn't be thrown into the deep end now. He should not be thrown into that football team and expect to be the savior of Manchester United. Neither should Rasmus Højlund. Right? They should not have been thrown into that football team. We should have had a squad, but we don't have a squad. You know, these players should have been nurtured, should have been brought into the team slowly. That's not their fault. That's not their fault. They will learn. Don't worry about getting their head up. And I said that yesterday, they need to get their head up and they need to look and stuff like that. We know that. But I'm not going to tear down those players because at the end of the day, there's a number of players there that haven't done it for Man United for years. There's players out there sitting on their backside right now. Mason Mount, Luke Shaw, doing absolutely nothing. Big up, Graham, my friend. Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Have a great day, my brother. Thank you so much for your support, bro. Thank you very much. Jamie, Good morning, sir. I actually have nothing to say. I'm tired of this standard crap week on, week out. I try to be Mr. Positive, but it's getting increasingly difficult. Stay strong, Red. Long load ahead. Big up, Jamie. Big up. Thank you for the comment, Jamie. Thank you for the comment. Story. What's going on? Upgrade on Bruno? Yes. Let's keep on selling the best players. Last summer, we sold our best right back. I mean, at the end of the day, Bruno's not the problem that we need to sell at the moment. We got a number of problems that need to go at this football club, and I'll tell you what those problems are. Casemiro needs to go. Shaw needs to go. Malacia needs to go. Rashford needs to go. These players need to go, number one. They're not gone yet, have they? You know, we've got a number of players there. Maguire shouldn't have been given a new contract. Anana needs to go. He's not good enough. Dalot needs to go. He's not good enough. And then we can think about Bruno and things like that. At the moment, Bruno's the only one who's actually scoring goals for Manchester United at the moment. I mean, we pull the plug on Bruno right now. We're going to be... I don't know where our next goal is going to come from. I think if the fans unite together against Ineos and Glazers, we could push them out of the club. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully it does happen. Hopefully we do get the... You know, we deserve it as Man United fans, of course. Morning, Mark. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Southampton bench is better than ours. I don't think anyone from our team except Bruno will fit in the Southampton team, as now it's embarrassing. I mean, let's not disrespect De Ligt. De Ligt was fantastic yesterday, guys. I don't think the defense did wrong. I think Euro was fantastic yesterday. I don't think the defense did wrong, guys. I really don't think they did wrong. I don't think they were the problem. I think Ugarte did well in the first half. These players are what, let's be honest, these players are good players, right? These players are good players. There are a number of other players, however, that are not good enough. And that is what we have to, of course. But I'm not going to target any. Big up, Pel. Sal, I hardly watched Man United play under Ten Hag. Did they play nervously under Eric Ten Hag? Or they played like this, Pel. At the beginning of the season, they were playing like this. They were playing like this. We were losing games week in, week out. We lost 7 against, obviously, Liverpool. We've lost 4 against Crystal Palace. You know, we've been thumped. You know, we lost 3 against Bournemouth. The similar vibe. Now, Ruben Amorim's come into an environment where he has to change the whole culture of a football club that has been failing for 12 years. You know, and with players that are not his. You know, it's difficult, isn't it? You know, and you're trying to turn Peter Crouch into Ronaldinho. You know, and you can't do that with the players. You know, you could tell a League One, a championship team to play tiki-taka. You know, I want you to play like the prime Barcelona, right? You can tell them to do that. But they can't do it because they ain't got the quality to do it. And that's the problem. You can lead a cow to the river. Doesn't mean they're going to drink the river, the water out of the river. It's bad, isn't it? Dave, any player that thinks he's bigger than United must walk. Absolutely, Dave. I agree. Our biggest problem is our terrible defense and poor goalkeeper. Lindelof and Dollar are taking penalties ahead of Garnacho and Cheeto. It's disastrous. I don't know what happened there, Mark, to be honest with you. I don't know why Garnacho... Look, Cheeto, I wouldn't mind him taking a penalty, even if he missed the fans will be on his side. You know, it's not a problem, but you know, it is risky letting a young player take a penalty, you know, but I think where was Garnacho? He's young as well. He's 20, by the way. Goodness me. It is, I don't know why he took the penalty, but then again, we can look at Lindelof and say against Brighton in the semi-final of the FA Cup, he buried one, didn't he? So just the way it is. Joe Blackman, what's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see. I don't have any energy to be angry anymore. I don't even, Joe. Look, you know what? I've come to acceptance. You know when you just in that mode of acceptance, you just accept it, and you're just like, oh, you know, like if you get hit, you know, for example, if you're hanging by some chains, right, and people are whipping you, and then you know what? You've had so much pain, you've turned numb. You know what I mean? I'm like Linkin Park and his mother. I've become so numb. I feel so numb at the moment with Man United. I do. Honest to God. You know what I mean? It's probably the best time to visit the dentist. They don't need to give me any anesthetic. I just take it out myself. I'm numb. I can't do this. You know what I mean? I'm like that. And you know what? The funny thing is about football, right? And this football team is that they're going to go to Real Sociedad on Thursday, right? And they're going to win. They're going to win. And we're going to be like, where did that come from? Trust me, bro. This is what's going to happen. Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. We went toe-to-toe with those teams. And we struggle against Brighton, against Wolves, against Crystal Palace, against Everton, against Ipswich. We struggle, Beggars belief. They're Tottenham, for goodness sake. Absolutely. This season can just end now, please. I can't take it anymore. Mark, stay strong, brother. Stay strong. You know what? He who survives. We will get there, guys. We will get there. Stay strong. We will get there. By hook or by crook. Whatever happens in the future, we will get there, guys. At the end of the day, Man United, no matter how bad we are, we're still the talk of the town. We're still the talk of the town. Absolutely. Big up, Joe. If it was a whole team was playing bad, then I'll generalize. The whole team is playing bad, Johnny. The whole team is playing bad. And don't give me this Bruno's been playing good business, because you know what? I have standards up to the roof. And I've seen many great players. He's one of the better ones, but he's not playing brilliantly, like people are saying. Players that step up and take a bench. Cheeto, I understand, but Garnacho, I don't. I know you hate Johnny. You hate. I don't know what's happened with you and Garnacho. I think he's taken your girlfriend or something. I don't know, Johnny, but you're going in on Garnacho a bit too steeply, in my opinion. Mark, Maguire, De Ligt, and Lindelof are slow. Brazilian Ronaldo would beat them at pace. R9 would, bruv. Mate, R9. Listen, there's no one who touches R9 in today's football. You know what I mean? At R9's peak. Imagine him against this team. You remember R9 when he used to play? Well, you remember when he used to run? He used to be like a bulldozer. You remember that? And he used to run and knock people off the ball and da. They wouldn't handle it. Probably claim a red card. Tick-a-tackle works only when you have the best players in the world. It's boring and not effective. Absolutely. It's crazy as well, because I think Onana was good up until the pens. At the end of the day, look, you know what? Pens, I can't blame anyone, Johnny. I can't blame anyone for pens, but you know what? He could have done better on a couple of those pens, in my opinion. I felt he did very well in the game, but as you said, he didn't do well in the pens. But you know what? I don't blame him for penalties. Penalties are a lottery at the end of the day. He's won us a penalty shootout before. You know what? And just the way it is, isn't it? Penalties. We won against Arsenal, didn't we? But that was by in there. Probably would have won it if we had by in there. Big up, everyone. It's not looking good, bruv. SLD, it's definitely not. Absolutely not. For Wolves are caving in. Listen, we must concentrate on the Europa League, give it all and win that competition, as this season is already over us. That our last chance to get. I don't know if it's going to be very difficult for us to win the Europa League. I mean, you look at some of those teams in Europa League and they're better than Fulham. We're gonna. Real Sociedad are better than Fulham. We're gonna have to. We got Subamendi and Kubo in that Real Sociedad team. We're going to have to play well. I do actually think we'll beat Real Sociedad. Winning the competition, however, I don't know. I just don't know where we are at the moment as a football team. I don't think we score enough goals. And this is the biggest problem at Man United. If Man United took their chances yesterday, Man United win that game 3-1. I think the game could have been 4-2. I think Fulham had a few chances as well. Or 4-3. Mark, being a United supporter is probably the worst thing in the world right now. It's not. Don't worry about it. There's teams who support. There's teams who support teams who are at the bottom of the league in League One and League Two. You know what I mean? There's actually people. I actually knew a guy in Leighton who used to come from New York twice a month to see Leighton Orient. Preston, with all due respect, mate, we won't get there with Ineos and the Glazers. No chance. Never in history has there been a sustainable success project from cutting costs. Preston. 100%, mate. You said it as it is. That's the gospel right there from Preston. Very good comment. I absolutely agree. People don't understand that when we're cutting all these jobs, 450 jobs, whatever was being cut, people don't understand that this has an effect on the atmosphere around the club. It creates a toxic environment. It creates a pressured environment, and you can tell at Old Trafford in particular, we have this pressure overriding us at the moment. And with what Ineos are doing, Ineos have done the remarkable thing of making things worse. We had it bad with the Glazers, guys, but Ineos have so far done the remarkable thing of making things worse. I cannot believe it. They have done that. They managed it. It's a miracle. You know, unbelievable. And to be honest with you, I can't see light at the end of the tunnel with them in charge. But you know what? I actually think Ruben Amorim is a shining light. And I think we will get, he will do bits for Man United. I hope. So I'm talking about 2025 R9. So I'm talking about 2025 R9. My goodness me. R9, you know what? Football's regressed, guys. If I talk about R9, you know what I mean? Football has regressed immensely. There's no one as good as R9. R9, one of the few favourite players of all time, standing ovation at Old Trafford. Yeah, it was brilliant. Brilliant player. Hat-trick. Yeah, at 4-3 game. Did you know a little bit of a fact today? Did you know that when we played Real Madrid in 2003 and we lost 4-3 at Old Trafford, brilliant game, by the way, Ronaldo hat-trick, Roman Abramovich was in that stadium. Roman Abramovich didn't like football, right? After that game, it is said that Roman Abramovich fell in love with football and he decided to buy a football club, especially in particular in England, and he bought Chelsea after that game. Preston, Lindelof and Maguire should have gone 2 years ago. Why we took the Euro off is beyond me. Lindelof should have been gone. Lindelof is gone in the summer, thankfully. He's gone in the summer. His contract is running out. I don't believe we should have given Maguire a 1-year contract. I don't. I think we should have just moved on from Maguire. Absolutely. But it's just the way it is, isn't it? Euro was brilliant yesterday. I think we're saving him for the Real Sociedad game, Preston. You know, I don't think we're that bad defensively. I think up front is where the problem was. I think the problem was up front. De Ligt was incredible. I don't bring hate into it, mate. I don't bring hate. Hatred is a strong word. It's a constructive criticism that we give, and a constructive criticism should always be balanced, right? It should always be balanced. It should not be absolute, and it shouldn't be just blamed on one person. Because Man United can get rid of Garnacho, Man United can get rid of Højlund, Man United can replace them, and it'll be the same. It most likely will. Do you know what I mean? I think it is a bit positive to see young players getting chances. I was tired of stupid money spending on so-called big stars. Not sure if the manager, but this will take time, a lot of time. I agree, Story. Very balanced. Like that, Story. Very balanced. Absolutely. Roman should have bought United instead of Chelsea. I mean, I would have loved that. That would have been great. He's a great... Look, listen, guys, in regards to Roman Abramovich, whatever people think about Roman Abramovich run a football club perfectly. Now, I want to know this, right? In retrospective, right? What Ineos done now is illegal. The way they purchased Manchester United now is illegal. So why, in retrospective terms, can we not go back and remove the ownership from the Glazers? They've done it to Roman Abramovich. Why can't they do it with the Glazers? Why? Because they're your friends. They're all baddie Yanks. You know what I mean? Is that what it is? Why can't they remove the Glazers? Why can't they go back in retrospective and remove them? They removed Abramovich when push came to shove. You know what I mean? When the pressure came on them, they removed Abramovich, didn't they? Because of politics. Preston. All they're interested in building an effing stadium, mate. Let's have it right. They will blag their way through until no matter what. Absolutely, Preston. And you make a good point again, mate. You're on fire today, Preston. And what I would say is that all they're interested in is the vanity. All they're interested in the infrastructure. The Wembley of the North. They can see their name in bright lights. Sir Jim Ratcliffe Stadium, Ineos Stadium. You know, that they can see it, can't they? You can see it right now. Hotels, apartments, everything around, all Ineos based, all Jim Ratcliffe Road. Instead of Sir Matt Busby Way, it's going to be Jim Ratcliffe Way. Trust me, guys, this is the type of arrogance and ego that this ownership have. You know what I mean? This is what, they're not even an owners. They're part, you know, they're working with the Glazers. You know what I mean? It's Glaze Ineos at the end of the day, of course. Listen, what I would say, Johnny, and big respect to you, Johnny. I've got nothing but love, right? What I would say to you, if there was an opportunity for me to know the future, if there was an opportunity for me to say, right, Sal, if this player's removed, if that player's removed, and that player's removed, and replaced with that player, and that player, and everything will be hunky-dory and rosy in the garden, and we're winning trophies, I would be all for it. I don't care about my opinion. I care about Manchester United. I care about us winning games. I've got no patience. I've got no patience anymore. I'm tired. You know, I'm fed up with these players. All of them. I'm tired of all of them. Even Bruno, I'm tired of. I'm tired of all of them. I'm fed up. They're part of the same problem. They're part of the same team. They're part of it. You know, I can look at the team yesterday and I can say, well, De Ligt played like prime Vidic. He did very well yesterday. Felt Euro had a very good game yesterday. Felt Xerxes was okay, but sluggish. Gave the ball away many times, slow. And we can throw all the assumptions and the reasons behind certain things, you know, why things are happening. But Man United's problems, they stem way deep. They stem way deep. And whilst we're targeting the same things as we targeted in the past and we've not improved, we're going to carry on building the same house. We're going to carry on doing the same thing. So, guys, what I would urge is that I'm not player FC. I'm not manager FC. But what I do, if this went to the court of law, even if we had O.J. Simpson's lawyers, it will be the Glazers who will be found guilty. It will be the Glazers who will be found guilty. They will be the ones who are guilty. It's very important for us to understand the true issue at this football club. The true problems at this football club are the Glazers. Now, guys, let me go through a couple of quotes in the media, of course, from Ruben Amorim and stuff, if you don't mind. Okay. In regards to Ruben Amorim, in regards to Cheeto, very good moves. A lot of to improve. A bit naive, but a very good day for Cheeto. Less so for the team. Yeah, he did. I mean, look, you know what? He did very good when he came on. And what I would say about Cheeto Obi Martin is that he showed you the art of creating chances for yourself and making things happen for yourself. He made things happen. And he's only 17, guys. Amorim said, we have a problem with goals. Today we created situations, even in the last games. You felt just in some set pieces, we will create danger. The first step is to create situations and improve that. And we sound like a broken record because we've been hearing this for a very long time, of course. You know, the same situation, the same noises, and, you know what, the same stuff that we've been hearing, of course, over the last few months. In regards to Rasmus Højlund and Cheeto, could Cheeto replace Rasmus Højlund? Anything can happen in the next games. We need to see the opposition, feel the moment of the player physically. I will focus on just the next game. I will choose the best players to win the next match. Let's hope so, because we're not winning at the moment. Penalty shootouts can go either way. Today was not our day. Of course, cliche. Of course, it wasn't. I'm not going to pile pressure on Xerxes. Xerxes scored the winning penalty against Arsenal, as we remember, and it can go your way. It can go against you as well. Ruben Amorim said the goal is to win the Premier League. I don't know about how long it's going to take, but that's our goal. And no matter what, we continue going forward. I don't think we should really talk about winning the Premier League at the moment. We got, you know what, we're in a bit of a mud at the moment to talk about the Premier League, if I'm being honest. I hope we win the Premier League too. But the way things are going at the moment, I'm looking at 5 to 10 years. It doesn't look good, bruv. But you know what? I always hope, as a Man United fan, I always hope and I always believe. You know, I always do that, of course. In regards to the team ratings, of course, Nana got a 7.3, did very well during the game. Definitely had a better game for Manchester United, but was disappointing on the penalties. De Ligt got a 7.1. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. An absolute monster. Maguire, 6.5. Euro, a 7.0. This is coming from my Instagram and Facebook, by the way, guys. So anyone who wants to join, of course. In regards to Dalot, a 6.2, a little bit better from Dalot, but he needs to cross a lot more. But it was an improvement yesterday from Diego Dalot. Ugarte, 6.3, good first half, dodgy second half. Wasn't the greatest second half, but he had a good first half. Fernandes, a 6.8, good goal, decent, but not throughout the game was okay, not amazing. But Mazraoui, I mean, look, as the poison rubbed off on Mazraoui, when Mazraoui first signed for Man United, he was getting 7 and 8. Now his ratings are starting to slowly decrease, of course. Xerxes gets a 6.8, average game, decent to average game. Kept the ball, but gave the ball away a number of times. Missed the penalty, wasn't his fault though, of course. Ericsson a 5.6, incredibly poor, slow, lethargic. Højlund a 5.5, slow, lethargic, and didn't create anything, to be honest with you. And that was worrying yesterday. I'm really worried for Rasmus Højlund. I'll be honest with you. I'm really worried for him. I think it'd be great. It'd be great if we can get Rasmus Højlund to go on loan, I think. The substitutes yesterday, Garnacho gets a 6.3. Lindelof a 4.3. Awful when he came on. Very bad when he came on. Missed the penalty as well, but awful. 6.7 for Obi. Did well. Need to give him confidence. I think he did okay when he came on. 4.4 for Casemiro. Slow, lethargic. Didn't really do anything. Again, too slow. He's finished. Man United do need to get rid of these slow players at the football club. Aiden Heaven gets a 6.5 for me. Aiden Heaven gets a 6.5. Did well when he came on. Didn't put a foot wrong. And you know what? Great future for the lad. Very bright future for the lad, in my opinion. In regards to Ruben Amorim, he gets a 6 for me. I think he done okay. But you know what? What can he do with that team? What can he do with that team? It's not much he can do, guys. It's really not much he can do. You're throwing him into the Sharks and, expecting him to work miracles at the moment. There's not much you can do in regards to it, in my opinion. And he can just work what he has. He can only do what he's working with at the end of the day. Absolutely. The man of the match was going to be Onana, but the man of the match for me is De Ligt. Onana didn't save the penalty, and I think Onana was the man of the match. De Ligt was the man of the match for me yesterday. I thought he was really good yesterday. I felt he was strong in the tackle, saved us a few times, brave in the tackle as well. I thought he was very good yesterday. I was very, very impressed with him yesterday. Very, very impressed. So, but we didn't win the game. So, obviously, there's going to be a lot of disappointments and knocking around. Of course, no surprise there. Man United out of the FA Cup, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Story. I like Garner. He makes things happen and are young, a bit learn, but a big talent. Story. Absolutely. He's 20 years old. He's going to improve. And this is what we have to say. If Garnacho was transfer listed right now, you will see who will want him. You will see who will want him. Once he improves his decision making, and when young players are coming through the systems, young players notoriously make bad decisions sometimes. That's life. That's the part of growing up. They will improve. They will improve. I guarantee you. Not bad, but I'll give Xerxes over a 7. I wouldn't give Xerxes over a 7 story. So he gave the ball away more times than most players on the pitch. And when you're giving away the ball, you can't give him over a 7. I don't think you can because you're giving away the ball. And I look at great performances in my life. And, I don't. This is, by the way, my Facebook and Instagram. It's not just me. It's a number of people. I don't just give up 7s and 8s easily. I don't, because I've seen 7 and 8s. I know what a 7 and 8 is. I know what, an 8 and 9 is. I've seen those. I've seen when 9 players get an 8. You know what I mean? I just don't think, I think he played okay. 6.8 for me is fair. I gave him a 7. But obviously, altogether, it was a 6.8. Absolutely. Every manager must work with that. He's got absolutely. Every manager apart, but when you bring in a manager with a unique style of play, we're not talking about Sam Allardyce here. We're not talking about 4-4-2, loof it up to this guy at the front. We're talking about a manager with a unique style of play who has a unique system that works and proven to work. And we haven't gotten him his players. And he was promised as well. Ruben Amorim was lied to, guys. He was manipulated. He was lied to. Guys. And this is an absolute fact. He wasn't told how bad the situation actually was. He wasn't told how bad it's going to get. He was told that he's going to get back in the January transfer window. They lied to him. They're manipulators. And there you go. That's what I would say. Guys, I would like to thank everyone for joining me today. Please, guys, I've got a very special guest later on Chatterbox, 2 p.m. UK time. A very good journalist coming on, guys. Absolutely. Don't forget to join me for that one. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be good. Absolutely. So don't forget to join me. A special guest on Chatterbox later on. So don't miss that one. It's going to be good. Get your questions in and stuff like that. When you come in, drop your super chats as well, of course, guys. And thank you everyone for their support. And guys, so later on today, big up Joe Batman. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Big up, my friend. Big up. Yeah, so I've got a journalist later on, guys, coming on the show. Of course, Ben Jacobs will be back on the show as well. I know many people are saying getting back on the show. I've got Ben Jacobs coming back on the show very soon. And guys, I've got a big one in the summer for you. I've got the biggest journalist in the world coming on in the summer, guys. Don't worry about that. Absolutely. So keep it Stretford Post. We're going to carry on growing together, and we're going to carry on supporting each other, guys. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. We can only support Man United as far, we can only support Man United. That's what we can do. Our duty is only to support the football club, and that is what it's all about at the end of the day. We can't do nothing else. We have to carry on. Guys, thank you for joining me. I'll see you later on at 2 p.m. and UK time. And guys, don't forget to smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, isn't it? Yeah, it's Breaking Dawn. Take it easy, guys. Peace.